Alright team, this vid we're going to check out stretching of the big toe, or specifically in anatomical terms, a flexor hallicus longus. So one of the things with ankle mobility, this way or this way, is the ability for the big toe to do this. So this movement here. So you can actually see with my right is a lot more flexible than my left. My left is getting better, but it still needs to improve. The reason for that is I suspect that I might have broken that big toe at some stage, landing from a handstand, and it's just been a work in progress to get it back to where it needs to be. But it's really important to have that toe flexion, even for the most basic function of walking, but especially running and jumping. In anything where you want to create power, which comes from the ground up, you need that plantar flexion and the ability for that big toe to flex. So we're going to use two options for this. One, we're going to use the floor with a step, and two, we're going to look at the wall. Now the wall is the most sort of common option that I see, but if your toe's tight, it's actually really hard to do it on the wall. So I'll show you what I mean. So on the wall, what you'd do is you'd get your foot up on the wall like this, and then you'd push your big toe into the wall, and your lateral foot, four toes would come to the outside. So you'd find a corner and you'd get it up like this, and you'd get it as straight as you could, and try and keep all the pressure down the inside of the foot, and you get this really nice big bang stretch on the bottom of the foot. And then if we just push our knee forward a little bit, we can crank that up even more. The problem with that is if you're tight, like I have been on my left foot, it's really hard to actually get into that position. So what we do there is, here I've got a step. You can see my foot going down below the step. So I get my big toe right on the edge of that step, and then I can let my lateral four toes go below the step, and then I can keep this flat, and I can bring my heel up so I can get the same stretch that I do on the wall on my right foot, but the angle that I get this foot at is much more forgiving. So if I was really tight, I might get to there and I just start stretching there, and then as I gain more flexibility, I can come right over. And one of the things that I don't want to do is I don't want the ball of that foot to come off the ground. So I don't want to do that. I want to jam that down and get my heel up as high as I can. So once we find either that position using the floor, or this position using the wall, then what we do is we go through our stretching process. So with that, if I was to stretch this toe, and that would be floor or wall, I'd hold that stretch for a minute, and then I would contract all this stuff under my foot. So when I was contracting, what I'd do is I'd push my toe this way, and by pushing it down like in that direction, I'd contract all the stuff in the bottom of my foot. So I'd do that for 15 seconds. Then I'd do the opposite contraction, where now I'm going to pull in this direction. So I'm pulling my toes, and you pull all your toes, but especially the big toe that way. Contract all that stuff again for 15 seconds. Relax, big breath in. Then we'd exhale and we'd pull further or deeper into stretch. So this option here I'm showing you with my hands. You could use this, but I prefer the other two stretches, using your body weight to really get a lot of weight in behind these tissues. These tissues are really strong and really powerful, because this is where we get a lot of our these are some of the strongest muscles and tendons in the body here, but they can also be very tight. So using body weight and gravity to our advantage really helps to stretch those. So that is the big toe stretch into flexion, flexor, hallicus, longus.